Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, denizen of the interwebs, I am kcStranger. These are four of my players. They don't get an adjective tonight. I don't feel like making an adjective tonight. I've been having a hard time. As always, this is Crystal Tomb, brought to you by XSplit Broadcaster, who I will never get money from, and Tractor Blend, who I keep forgetting that he said he'd pay me 50 cents per session that I shouted him out. Last time on the Crystal Tomb, the party killed the Aboleth Salthier, also known as Blindploot. As you return to yourselves, you take stock. Colleen, you shake your head as you come to grips with the insight that you've just gleaned. Not just have you been hopping timelines, things have gotten worse every time. Gumork, I'm going to say, swoops towards the stony path, lowers his head, and lets out a low chirp that must be the Quetzalcoatl equivalent of a whimper. The rest of you open your eyes and slowly come to your senses. An eerie silence has descended on the cavern, interrupted only by the occasional bloop of a bubble or the sound of a rock falling in some distant cavern. You wince slightly as you notice a dull, throbbing pain behind your temples, except for Colleen. But the sensation fades quickly. And then, and actually, let me see. Since Max isn't here, I'm going to say, well, actually, Colleen, you have enhanced vision. So, Colleen, you notice a somewhat panicked expression across Maxis's face as he takes stock of himself. At first, the area where he was struck by the aboleth, sort of on his arm, middle arm, just sort of had a greenish hue to it, but it's worse now. The green translucence is creeping up and down his arm. You can actually watch it spreading. At this rate, it won't be long before it covers his entire body. You notice him sort of wince as the green translucent color spreads up his arm, and you see him instinctively start to lower his body further into the water, as if it's offering him some kind of relief. And that's where we pick up.
Is there a big dead aboleth just in the water now?
No. It turned into that purple chrysalis thingy, and then you shattered that. And maybe there are shards of that descending towards the bottom, but nothing more for sure.
All right, I'm gonna go take that. Take a piece of that. Take a piece.
Well, you'll have to dive for it.
Yeah, I don't have to breathe. I'm gonna go do that.
You don't have to breathe?
I can hold my breath forever.
Oh, so you can. But can you dive fast enough and see well enough? First, give me a
Dang
Constitution.
it! I have to dive.
Give me a Constitution save to see how you deal with pressure.
Oh wait, how deep is this?
Well, you're going to be searching for something kind of small.
What's Ty Rocks doing?
What's who doing? Okay, Constitution save, I said, Keen.
Oh man. So +1. Can I just take that?
Nope. Because that's the rule that I came up with.
Thank you.
All right. Now give me a perception check.
Woo.
Okay. Yeah. You run over and quickly dive down. You swim. You actually notice a piece fairly quickly. You've got to swim down just about 15 feet before you grab sort of a small piece that very easily fits in your palm. You swim back to the surface, and it sort of shimmers in a few different... this piece is sort of a dark blue in color. So add Blindploot shard to your inventory weight 0.05.
Alrighty. So now, do I see the priest guy who refused to let us just
You see his
mosey
body
on
floating
past?
there.
I'm gonna go take his body and bring it up to the shore.
Okay, so while Kane is doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
Gonna go investigate Maxis? Or, I guess, I wouldn't know that.
Well, so you don't see as well as Colleen sees, but, actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. Give me a perception check. Okay, yeah. You notice that something seems to be... He seems uncomfortable somehow.
So we're out of combat and I can move as I see fit.
Yep.
Okay.
Are there any other bodies laying around? Floating around? Whatever.
Yeah, let me see here. I will show some of where the
The
bodies
whirlpool's
are.
gone, right? Whirlpool's done.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will just sit.
I guess that's up to Colleen, but yeah, if she drops the
Colleen?
spell.
Let me go searching for them.
So here are the Quotoa bodies. And there's one here.
So I'm going to use my ability Fey aspect.
Okay.
Water barrier, so I can walk on water.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm going to walk over to one of the fish people and investigate. I've walked next to the one I want to try and loot.
Oh, okay, well, he's actually on land. Right,
yeah, I had to
sounds
walk
good.
from the rock, though.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump over to Colleen and Fowlin quickly. As you get close to Maxis, you can see very clearly that his skin is becoming green and slimy at an alarmingly, or actually sort of translucent green, at an alarmingly fast rate.
I don't know how to interact with him because he's not here.
I'll just talk to
talk
Colleen.
to him
I'll just talk to Colleen then.
I mean, so by the
good.
way, if somebody like normally I do turn people into slight robots when they're not here, but if there's any like important interaction that needs to happen, I'll just handle that as the DM.
Basically, if it's like, how does this feel? You will express how it would feel.
Correct.
I just tell Colleen that doesn't look very good.
Are you okay, Max?
He says, "It burns if I don't submerge it in the water." And you see he's kind of slipped down and just sort of like as it sort of climbs up over his shoulders and starts to get on his neck, he's instinctively sort of lowering himself.
Can I make a check like an Arcana check to see if I know anything about it?
Let me think here. First, make a medicine check, but then you can also make an Arcana check.
Should I make an Arcana check?
Yeah, you can make both of the same checks, Fallon.
I already did medicine.
Oh, okay.
Arcana.
Okay, so
Nailed it.
Interesting. All right, so Colleen,
I believe I know what's going on here.
You don't.
Colleen's just like. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Colleen, you don't glean very much beyond what you already knew. The Arcana check was actually kind of difficult. Clearly something that the Aboleth did to Maxis is affecting him negatively. You imagine that once it spreads all over, that's bad somehow, but you can't figure out much past that. Something's kind of nagging at the back of your mind that you learned at university, but your intro course on creatures of the world or like lore around that wasn't something you paid very close attention to. Fowlin, you on the other hand, first of all, can clearly see that this is some sort of disease that's rapidly spreading throughout Maxis's body. not what distinguished from a poison in that it doesn't even seem to be reliant on using his bloodstream. Like it's just spreading evenly around. So you imagine some sort of like quasi magical effect. You also go ahead. I'm sorry.
With my nat 20, I imagine a quasi-magical effect.
Yes, something like that.
I want the name of the disease in Latin. Throw it
You
down.
want the Latin roots for this disease's name? The
Aboleth
geographical
diseases.
first
Anyways.
He's a wearabolith.
Yeah, werewolf.
Cut his arm off.
Classic wearabolith disease. I've seen it a million times.
Seen it many a time in my day.
Okay, so that first part was actually from the medicine check. On your nat 20, however, so after you ran into the aboleth the first time, you sort of developed a curiosity about anything that was known about them, and you actually remember from the first time you went, or from when you were at the Tower of Innis and spent a few minutes in the library then, you just spent a couple minutes paging through a book that you found there, and it had a short write-up on aboleths. Not a whole lot is known about them, but there's some surviving lore. And one of the pieces that is remembered is that their tentacles do carry a disease that when you're struck by it, if you're affected by the disease, then it'll spread rapidly, usually within about a minute. If you can be cured, or if basically most things that will heal a disease will help you within that first minute. If you don't get care almost immediately, however, then it will turn into something much more pernicious and hard to cure, and actually it causes the affected creature to need water to be applied to them every 10 minutes, or they'll literally just sort of burn up with a sort of acidic effect.
What
He's
sort
full.
of spells cure disease?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Are you asking out loud?
Well, I lack that game knowledge.
Oh, okay. So curing a disease is different from restoring
Curing a
HP. Okay, yeah. It's a different thing. So there
Like
are
bless or something.
spells that have that effect. And go ahead and give me, well, on your medicine check, I will also allow that there can be medicines or potions or things like that have that effect as well. Also, for example, a paladin's lay on hands might do a similar thing.
Oh man, told me we had a paladin.
What is Quizmilligus again?
You don't
warlock?
know. I'm a warlock, yeah.
Okay, that's
He's a
right. You told me
warlock.
that.
But yeah, we never really asked him. He just
That
does
Eldritch
it.
Blast.
I'll just say, does anybody know how to cure disease quickly?
Can it be at this point that Kane pops out of the water with the body and is like, "Who's sick?"
Sure.
Quizmelius is just rummaging through this fish man's corpse,
I'll get to you in a
looking for
moment.
things.
I
Who's
have an
sick?
herbalist kit, but
I mean, Max seem like it's gonna be a big deal, or
yeah, I mean he's got 20, 19, 18, 17 seconds.
That's pretty close to right at this point.
15.
Hold on.
I mean,
hold on.
I
Hold
can
on. Do everything to help him?
I could reverse it, but I'll be out of commission for a couple days.
What?
Oh,
That sounds fun.
Well, you better flip it down and reverse it quickly.
I mean,
it's worth it. Let me work it.
I
but
think
out of character, if
out
I
of character.
put myself out of the game to put our pocket barbarian in the pocket, bad things will probably happen.
I mean, wait, hold on. What do you want to do?
If I restore him to a point where he was not diseased, it'll come back on me.
Oh,
Mhm.
you're just taking the illness
Would a
upon
holy
yourself.
water bomb do it?
I don't think bombs will.
Well,
No, you
it's
would
like-
just pour the holy water on him.
it's an
I got
interesting-
poison. You think?
Quizmelicus just looks over his shoulder and says, "I'm out." Doesn't have anything. I don't have anything.
Kind of doing like a backstroke with the body. It's like I got some poisons.
Let's
Um,
fight poison with poison.
Having just checked the rules associated with holy water, it's mostly effective against fiends and
Fiends
undead,
and stuff.
and also is generally inoffensive.
I couldn't whip something up with my herbalism kit.
Also on Maxis, 6, 5, ...
Wait, hold on. What does Maxis have in his inventory? Check anything that could be useful, like
All right,
Valid.
I'll give you
and
the
also
Or the
just
benefit
ask
back
a
of
on that.
question.
the bag of holding too.
I just don't have the spells for this.
Before we condemn him to this fate, let's make sure that he doesn't have anything that could fix him.
All right, let me see. I'm looking over his inventory. He has tobacco. That might make him feel better.
Real nice, KC. Well, you know what? Now we know.
Can't we all see
New
the
rule.
bag
You're
of
not
holding?
here, you die.
I just don't get the sense of urgency. I don't know.
I mean, he's
I
got a
have not
staff of
expressed it.
healing if any of you could use it.
Man, this no healer thing is really coming to bite us in the ass.
He's got a what? A
I
staff of
almost
healing?
built a cleric,
Yeah.
so
And
Why
he's got
couldn't-
an herbalism kit,
none-
just like Fallon. He's got, not only does he have tobacco, he has a flask of scotch. He has 2.5 pounds of scotch. Well, not that much. There's the bottle weight, but
You
still.
poison him with a different poison.
Well,
Poison
all right.
with it.
looks like Max is fucked, guys.
All right, so yeah, we're on like 3. Is anyone gonna try anything before the disease fully overtakes him?
Where is it
it's
already?
up to
How far
Colleen.
is it now?
I just
Where-
Can he not
I-
get his staff of healing, Colleen? Hit him with
Colleen's thing also takes like 10 minutes to use.
yeah, it takes
so-
10 minutes
Oh.
to use.
What
and
takes 10 minutes?
My spell ability, and then I can't do anything for like 3 days.
Well, she gets
And there's
2
a chance
levels of
that it
exhaustion.
fails.
Okay.
Ah.
So you watch as
Wait, no. Where's the progression of disease? How far has it progressed already?
across his entire body at this point.
Well, no, before when I asked earlier, I was like, how far was it?
Most of him was underwater. So
Healing
everything that
spirit
you see
wouldn't
was
do it,
covered.
right?
I can't just cut him off. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, that's just like an HP restoring ability. There are specific spells that can actually cure diseases. So,
Like greater restoration.
We have not
I
outfitted
believe-
our party correctly.
Let me see. Here.
I was looking at a restoration spell earlier, since I can cast one.
Actually,
Oh, man,
You
Um,
probably should. Just to
I
try.
think- Yeah, I mean, actually, lesser restoration would work at 2nd level.
Can we pretend that's what I did?
No.
Even
I
if we
could
asked
cancel
what
all.
spells they were.
I didn't know that you had access to restoration spells. I would have said something.
Well, I mean,
I should-
lesser restoration is a 2nd level spell that I can get under a ranger spell, and I was actually looking at it, but I was urged to play the game, so I stopped.
Oh man.
Oh,
And
man.
that's the God's honest truth. But
Never urge
you know,
just play
let
instead of
Maxis
picking a
die, it's fine.
spell.
Well, I
As-
mean, you can
you
still
know.
switch to it later, but that's the cost of getting dinner rather than leveling up.
How dare you make
In fairness,
food
you did have 3 weeks.
I
this
could put him in
may
a
be
hamster
so.
ball and buy us a minute.
all I'm hearing is how dare you make food for your family? You know.
Well, my 3-year-old did have a fever and throwing up for the past 2 days, and I did stay home all day with her, and she
So
was asleep. So I probably could have
Alright,
done it.
alright, so maybe you had reasons.
So I'm hearing Casey hates kids.
I mean, I don't have any.
You heard it here first, folks. Casey hates.
I do have 2 guinea pigs
Episode
who are
title.
basically low maintenance kids, but
episode title.
Anyways, yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I
that's-
mean,
Make that the YouTube title. Casey hates kids.
so none of y'all have anything to heal him from disease. That's
I got
really,
poisons.
if you don't,
I-
that's all I need to know.
I am entirely
Nope.
out of everything.
Warlocks don't have healy things.
all right. So, as the burning green translucence covers Maxis's entire body, we're gonna go over to what I think. I mean, what, Kane? Were you trying to loot the priest, or did you get distracted from that?
Yes, I was going to loot the priest / remove his head.
Okay, let's go to Quizmilligus first. Quizmilligus, just give me investigation.
Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, all right. This guy doesn't have too much on him. He's wearing sort of an interesting looking bone necklace. That at the very least is a curiosity. And
Okay.
also you do notice a small coin pouch at his hip. It's got some unfamiliar coins in it. Just
I can't type C's. Damn it.
Oh, coin pouch.
Casey, I had a thought.
What's up?
I have a thing.
What's your thing?
I have a potion of vitality I could give him. It would cure him of exhaustion and any poison.
Any
Removes exhaustion and cures any disease or poison affecting you.
Okay, well, so you know, I did get to the point where
I mean, it's fine. You can let him die.
well,
It's fine.
but here's
Well, it
what
doesn't kill him, right? He just has to be wet.
so here's what I'm gonna do. Let me see, potion.
Why wouldn't that potion work any time?
He said it gets harder after it takes full control of his body to cure.
Well, so he'll have some bouts of diarrhea as the potion of vitality courses through his veins. Goliath's veins.
So since I already made the announcement, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you a shot at it. So let me see. This is like a quick thinking check. Just give me intelligence. Okay, on a 15, you do indeed remember your potion of vitality. And so you giving that to Maxis then?
Yeah, I'll give it to him. I forgot about it for a year and a half anyway, so might as well.
All right. So yeah, you remember the potion that you've been carrying around for, I mean, what? When did you
Ever.
actually get that? I'm trying to remember.
When we got the potion of fire giant strength, which was ages ago.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's only like 4 weeks of in-game time, or like it's like a month or so of in-game time. Anyways, yeah. So it finally occurs to you that you've been toting around this potion that would in fact be useful. You pop it open and hand it over to Maxis. He quickly grabs it and chugs it without even asking what you're giving him. And you watch for a tense moment as the green has almost completely overtaken him and then slowly starts to recede. In the meantime,
As he does that, and everyone's like, Kane's just like cutting off her head. You good?
for
Flavor.
the record, Kane, you're trying to decapitate the priest. What
Yeah.
are you using for that?
I mean,
And are you like in the water doing this? Are you
no,
dragging the body
I
to shore?
dragged him to the shore. That's what I was doing. Yeah.
You know what? Just to see how this goes, give me a strength check.
How heavy
actually
was this
athletics.
necklace I found?
What?
Athletics?
How heavy was the necklace I found?
Half a pound.
And then how many gold did I find?
So don't add it to your money. Add it to your inventory. It's say pouch with 12 coins. Yeah, you know what?
I pulled a hammy.
Yeah, on a 0, I'm going to say that like as Maxis is cured and Quizmiligus is, has finished looting through the body. Quizmiligus, you turn away from the Quotoa body and look back behind you to find, you see Maxis and Fallon looking rather relieved. Actually, Fallon, at about this point is when Gamork's ability is going to wear off. So you now have a doggo in the water with you. So you turn around to see, you see a few things, Quizmiligus. First of all, you see Gamork suddenly morph out of Quetzalcoatl form and into a dog and sploosh into the water. Sploosh. You see Colleen, taking an empty flask away. Max is looking fairly relieved. And you see Kane floundering like an idiot, kind of looking like he's having violent sex with a dead Quotoa.
No, see, you need to say all that.
And you wonder to yourself, what have I gotten myself into?
Alright, so I can't talk about
This
the
was all a
water.
mistake.
Well, no, you can. It's just
horrible,
really slow,
horrible
and
mistake.
you look really stupid doing it.
Alright, well, when I get him out of the water, well,
Okay.
I'm gonna search him.
How heavy
and
is my pouch of 12 coins?
Let me see. That's gonna be
Math,
0.2.
math.
5 pounds.
So you watch. You sort of count out the money as Kane struggles mightily to bring this dead Quotoa to shore. But finally, Kane, you do.
Did Fallon see the violent sex with the frog corpse?
Yeah, it was going on for long enough that you could totally see it.
Then I would have yelled out, "That's not Thule. Calm down."
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Jay's just like, shut up, I got this.
I want to walk over to where Kane is
Yeah, you can do
and
that.
just kind of slowly pull the body away from him and search it.
What? No, I don't let you.
Well, okay.
You're on the ground.
Wait, I'm on the ground. I pulled him up.
All
We can
right,
roll-
so
we can roll
I'm
a
imagining you sort of come up over here then, Quizmiligus.
Yeah, I didn't move my token. Sorry.
You know what? Competing
cut a
investigation checks, Kane and Quizmiligus.
Kane,
Kane, you were there first.
I will cut a bitch.
You were there first, but you're also exhausted from what you just did.
Investigation, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Can I say I'll cut a bitch?
Yeah, that's fine. You can say that.
Why investigation, man? Why do my rolls take so long to go through?
Okay. So,
I'm not a smart man.
So Kane, it was kind of hard to miss his staff, which was floating in the water next to him. Appears to be just basic staff. It's got some sort of scorpion-looking design on the top. So probably because he's using it as a focus, or maybe just because he thinks it's swag. He's wearing a slightly more ornate sort of bone necklace. Similar to the other one, I guess. You don't really find too much more of interest. He's kind of just got some rags that he's wearing. Quizmiligus, you spy 2 more pouches hanging on his hips that Kane is completely missing.
Of coins.
You don't know yet. You just see 2 pouches.
I take the pouches.
So do
I
I
lay
see
him on.
Do I see him reach for pouches?
Hold
Yeah,
on, hold on. You're jumping the gun here. I take the pouches
Well,
and I put them directly on the fishman's chest and say, "This one's yours." And I move on to the next fishman.
Like you put both the pouches down?
Yeah, they're yours.
Kane looks at you, unsure of how to feel.
I just
Well,
walk away.
if you guys want to bring the
Alright.
bodies with us, I can make some
I
nice
start
things out of them later.
The decapitation process begins.
I wish Maxis had kept his disease so that you could have made them carry big jugs of water.
Moisturize me. He would
Quiz, just to hurry it along. The other ones don't seem to have anything of interest. They've got their weapons. So these are basically staves or staffs with hooks on them. So it's a staff that would also be useful for grappling a target.
Okay.
If you're interested in such a thing, you can take it, but that's about all that they have on them other than their clothes and whatnot.
Okay. So then I kind of just want to take things I find. I'm going to put them all in a pile here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to start dragging the bodies to a pile here.
Okay.
Well, I'm decapitating my body.
You can have your body. I've learned you don't mess with Kane's decapitation prey.
All right. So
I
Kane,
enjoy this.
the 2 pouches that you found, one of them is similar to the one Quizmilligus found. It's a pouch that has some sort of bronzish looking coins in it. There are 21 coins inside. And this pouch weighs, call it 0.8. And in the second
You said
pouch,
0.8?
0.8.
That's some heavy coins.
Yeah.
Wait, did that update? Hold on a second.
Let me see here.
It doesn't appear to be updating for some reason.
Oh, I see it. It just says coin pouch 0.8.
But like, no, my weight, my total weight's not updating.
Yes, I get it, Fallon.
Oh. Eh?
Yep. Wait, no. It
Yeah,
says
there you go. It
encumbered, but it still
updated.
the number didn't change though on mine. Hold on, let me close out my character sheet.
Okay, yeah, it looks right to me. So
45.3.
So I'm gonna make a quick roll here for what you find in the other pouch. There we go. Let's see here.
You said there was a staff here?
Yeah, it's just normal like staff that can be used as a spellcasting focus.
Queen, I got a cool staff for you. Over here. Just
When are the dragons coming in?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna drag this frog corpse here next to Maximus.
Yeah, I was putting the pile over here.
Yep. And Kane, in the other pouch is a potion.
of lesser restoration.
So there is in fact an orange liquid inside the potion, and there's sort of smoke above the fluid. So
It's lubricant, and you could have used it earlier.
that basically that.
How much does the lube weigh?
0.2.
So you would like me to identify this staff?
Wait, we're identifying things?
I don't know. Are we?
Okay.
Kane said he had a
You
staff
wanna-
for me.
What is going on with my character sheet?
I just don't think Kane can use his staff, so he's trying to give it to the mage.
I mean,
Use it as
yeah.
a weapon stick.
Alright.
So
So,
staff of
quiz-
healing.
As everyone
I
kind of
could
gathers
see
up, because
sometime in
Milligus
this
is going to
game
look at everyone and be
Kane
like,
using the scepter
does
of
anyone have
command
any
to beat
healing
something like that.
potions for trade?
What potion?
Any healing potions?
I have healing potions. What do you need?
Anything?
Okay, I have. They're not all together, because that's how I do it.
I have a potion of healing and a potion of healing.
Yo, Casey, how did you fix my weight? It's happening again.
You know,
Weight's not updating.
that's what I want to do. We'll have like potion of healing, and then instead of like greater healing potion, we'll have potion of like we'll
Big
have it
heal.
like that. And then you know,
I I have greater, standard, and
heals.
supreme. Which do you want?
Big
Oh shit, he's healed.
And then maybe like
Oh
that.
lord, he's healing.
Superior,
Yeah,
is
and then
superior the big one or is greater the big one?
I don't know.
Remember.
Which is better, superior or
is
greater?
the better.
Can you see in the
He has
dark?
healed.
Oh yeah. Which? So which one
that's
did you want?
Well, I was offering you trade, and my question to you was, can you see in the dark?
I cannot. Human
How
eyes
about
and
you
such.
give me the greater healing potion, and because
Give me
I
the
no
potion of
longer
giant-ass
need it,
motherfucker.
I will give you my goggles of night.
Cool deal.
You mean the
So,
potion of giant ass motherfucking healing, right?
Sure.
How
So
much
I
do
give him-
goggles of night weigh?
Shoot. I just clicked something that made it go away. 0.5. So you have the goggles of night now. And I have a greater healing potion that I'm going to immediately take.
0.2. On
I'm just
that.
gonna
Well, you're
take it.
taking it.
What time of day is it?
How much?
So I mean, you're underground, but it feels like it's getting towards like later in the evening. It feels like maybe 9 o'clock. Fallon, goggles of night. Just it's no attunement. Just if you wear them, you have dark vision to 60 feet.
To 60 feet, you said?
Yep.
Here, I'm just gonna copy and paste it into to the chat. Oh. I just got kicked out of the game. Hold on.
Hold on, he healing.
Oh
like it.
lord, he's healing.
So wait. So are we going to rest or should I take this so we can
That is my
continue? I would.
I say we should rest. Cut.
Was that your sound effects
okay,
for continuing to cut heads off?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I never did figure that out, Kane. So first of all, Colleen,
I was waiting.
do you want to stop him from attempting to cut off this creature's head?
No, I'll have a beheaded zombie. That's fine.
Interesting.
Doesn't need its head, right?
You sir, stop moving that head. No.
I could argue yes, because zombies do like use their eyes and shit.
But if I direct it, say north,
I mean,
Or-
sure, if you want to be
that
like
way,
repeatedly spending
skeletons
your
don't have
actions to like be
I am its eyes.
turn 30 degrees right and punch.
But KC, skeletons don't have eyeballs. They don't even have organs or muscles.
Yeah,
they
but
still do.
it's like magical shit. So that's just how it works.
Yeah, so magic makes
Colleen,
them-
I'm
But
gonna
it could-
just go ahead and declare that you know that a headless zombie will not be as effective as a headed zombie.
But it could just hold its head like the headless horse.
Yeah, what if Queen holds his head?
Something of the sort might be workable. You're not quite well, if you... I suppose you can roll Arcana if you want to, like, theory craft whether this would work.
I'm gonna do it just in case.
Alright, where is...
Just in
I'm
case.
sorry, I just dropped something. Give me a moment. 21? Okay, just a second. Let me think about it.
Also, he's gonna have to make me a new sheet for the super jewels.
Alright, so, Colleen, you know that the way the magic works is you are magically animating the parts of the creature. So, if you have a headless zombie, but you also have the head, then the two parts will function independently. So you could potentially put the head over here, and that would see, and, like, could direct the body. Like, it could kind of work. It could also get awkward, potentially.
Okay, so Kane will cut off the head of the one, and we'll let my imp friend carry it. Be the grand spectator.
Okay, now let me think about this. I will say... jeez, this is going to be a nightmare.
Make it wear a spike helmet and throw it in battle.
Yeah, I'm just... So the only thing that I'm I'm honestly, I just said that, and now I'm like debating because I'm just thinking of how annoying this is going to be to track if we actually get in a combat situation. Let me think about this.
Why don't you just
Alright.
make a zombie that has disadvantage on melee attacks because he's holding his head?
Now, here's what I'm gonna do. This will be a less effective zombie than it otherwise would be, because every time it gets hit, there's going to be a chance that it loses its head and the body becomes confused.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so you're letting Kane continue. All right, Kane, how
He
are
can
you
do-
attempting? How are you attempting to cut off this creature's head?
I got a short sword.
Okay,
Gross.
so just like repeatedly whacking it with a short sword.
Yeah.
Let me see how much time this takes. Give me, what?
Dex?
It's going to be strength plus proficiency.
Dang it.
So strength check, and then we'll add 4.
So, do we decide? Are we resting?
Okay, just a second. So Kane
I'm very tired from the swim.
just crit failed that.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Don't hit me with your sword.
So
Don't stand next
so Kane, here's what I'm gonna say happens. Kane, you take out your short sword and you like whack at it, and then you whack at it again, and then you kind of saw at it for a bit, and you whack it again, and you are tired at this point.
Yeah,
You're
exhausted.
out of it. Finally, you just sort of roll over and give up. The body has been left. It's basically like the nearly headless Nick of Quotoa at this point.
Okay.
All right, Colleen, are you making friends?
Well, that's fine. I need to know if we're resting because I want to make super friends, and I don't have that spell prepared right now.
All right.
So I'm either gonna tow them or.
All right. So what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to rest here? Do you want to like walk a little bit further and maybe try to find a safer place to rest, or do you want to just forge ahead?
I personally would be incredibly happy if we rested, as I'm rolling around in the water in my water barrier.
Okay,
Let's see,
I'm mostly
also-
hearing that you guys want to rest. So again, are you gonna try to go a little further and find someplace secluded, or are you just gonna hang out here?
What? So, Fallon, what do you see up ahead of you in that path?
You can't see me. I'm hiding in plain sight.
He's John
Who's
Cena.
just says, Fallon.
Okay, you do hear an echo in the
Continues rolling
cave of
around.
what? I break my plain-sightedness, hidden in plain-sightedness.
Oh. Is there a safe place to rest along that path?
I don't know. The map kind of ends.
Fallon, you look a bit further. So you were just given goggles at night, and actually there's a wall ahead of you, and it forks. One path goes to the left, and the other goes to the right. Maybe just about another 20 feet beyond what the map shows.
Not sure what's around the bend. Maybe we just rest here.
Aside from other tentacle monsters in the water, potentially, I feel like this is the safest place to be.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's rest.
So, Colleen, are you making friends now then? And then, by the
well,
way, it looks like your plan is to... Were you going to go up here and rest, or are you just going to hang out on the path down here?
I feel like out here's better.
Okay.
On
Right.
the path?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my torch to just kind of like cauterize
So-
the neck stump.
I was gonna say, is how successful is Kane, and would
Like,
that
do I just
zombie
take a long
be?
time, or I
Would
just
it still
unable to-
be a little slow zombie? Or
Kane was ineffective enough that it should mostly be fine. There might be some bizarre visual effects, but and
So is-
if anything goes at its neck with an axe, it wouldn't take much.
Wait,
But
I didn't get the head off.
no, you gave up because you crit failed.
But no, Fallon, help me get this head off.
No. You've your failed attempt broke your spirits. You crit failed, man. I'm forcing
Fallon?
this on you.
Fallon can't use his axe to do it.
I mean, Fallon could, I guess. Fallon, you see that Kane has mostly decapitated the Quotoa priest. Not all the way.
A zombie would be much funnier with a dangly head.
We must present this
That's kind
head
of how
to
I
their
feel, too.
people and crush their spirit.
So, again, Colleen, are you going ahead with this?
well, I have to rest so I can prepare that spell.
Oh, you can't do it now. Okay, the corpses should keep.
Fallon, we must present the head to any of the people that we come across. It's
I'll
to show
just say,
not mess with.
are you in need of assistance?
Yes, please. I can't quite get this. Get
Do I
to
need
the
to roll
spot.
some
See, this
cases?
Well, I will
spine's
use-
kind of like.
You want to decapitate it now?
Sure, since he's working on it.
All right.
Spines and
Just
issues.
roll an attack
So-
with your axe, I guess.
Casey,
Yeah.
with my anime undead that I have to do to maintain my control, can I make a new dude with that, or is that just to maintain control?
Oh, I like. Can you use the same spell cast both for making and for maintaining? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I think so. Let me double check. Animate dead.
Donka Fallon. Now we can use it
Yeah,
to.
you can. So basically, it's like at level 3 you get 1, at level 4 you get 3, and each of those can be either to animate or to reassert.
Okay, so we got 5 frog bodies. I'm gonna make 1 zombie monk.
Well, hold on, we're not there yet because didn't you say we were resting before?
No, because I'm
Right,
using my
this spell.
my maintaining spell because I still have 1 third level slot left for animate dead.
Wait, I'm a little confused. So you are making zombies right now before?
I'm making
rest?
1 zombie
Okay.
because I can only make 4 of the other type.
Make him stand guard for us while we rest.
Okay. I mean, you can choose on a per zombie basis if you prefer. That's fine. But yeah. So what are you doing now?
So I'm gonna use my maintaining spell to maintain my barbarian and make
Okay.
1 zombie monk. Then I will rest my 4 hours and change spells.
Alright, so if you cast it at level 3, then you can either maintain 1 or make 1. If you cast it at level 4, you can make or maintain 3. It's like you get just 1 at level 3, and then you get 2
But with
more
my
per level.
necromancer trait, I get an additional corpse.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so alright, so you're keeping yours and then making another one. Which one are you doing?
We'll make the priest a zombie monk with his stinky head.
Okay. So Fallon just came over and chopped its head clean off.
Yeah, it's great. It'll hold itself.
All right. This is going to be exciting.
Wait, no. The purpose of the head is so that once we go to their city, I can hold the head to them and say, "We have slain
I like
your
the
god."
idea. I like the idea that zombie puts its head by the path, and if its head sees anything,
The body will go,
claps.
"Ah!"
It claps.
All right. So, and then turned priest into a zombie monk. Okay, I'm just making notes to myself of what's going on here. All right. So right now you have 2 zombies. Okay. All right. So you guys sort of, set yourselves up on this little path here. Just cave noises and shit. Anyone doing anything
Hello?
before resting time? Are you setting any watches? Are you just relying on zombies for watches? What are your plans with all that?
I'm going to take. Wait, hold on.
Gnome salts.
Okay, let's go ahead and just do that. Fallon, go ahead and roll a d20.
I
Okay.
need to sleep the whole time to get my spells back.
I mean, actually, you get your spell slots back on a short rest.
Really?
Yep.
You're a warlock, man.
That's how
Oh,
warlocks
shit.
work. You only have 3 spell slots, but you get them all back whenever you short rest.
Oh, I wouldn't have pushed so hard for. Well, I kind of need my health back. So.
All right. So Fallon, you lean up against this little bit of ruins, and do you have the goggles on, or do you take
Sure.
them off? Okay, sure. All right. You sort of gaze out over this dark little cave that you're in. I guess it's actually kind of lit up. I said there was glowing moss around and stuff like that. And you hit up some gnome salts. You look out over the water. You see the shards of Blindploop emerge from the waters below, coalesce into the chrysalis, and then dissolve back into the form of the creature himself. Except this time, Blindploop is wearing a straw hat. He has like a corncob pipe coming out of his mouth with a little smoke trail of Tabasco. Dear God. Tobacco. Smoking Tabasco. And
Yeah.
remind me of that in a moment, Kane. Little smoke trail of tobacco coming up from it. He looks at you. He sort of pulls one of his tentacles and wipes it across his forehead in an exasperated manner and looks at you, Fallon, and says, "You done did it, Fallon. After all this time, you done did it. Well, I suppose there's nothing more to do than dance the night away." And he pulls his other 4 tentacles around him and starts sort of waving them back and forth in a little dance. And he says, "I do hope the rest of your journeys are worthy of my death."
Can I too begin dancing?
Yes, you can. Please give me performance.
I'm working on it.
It's fucking great, especially with the picture. Like,
Blindploop grimaces but smiles slightly as you sort of dance along with him.
trying to picture Blimploop smiling. Picture we have.
And
Please tell me, Casey. How does this look? How terrifying is it?
I mean, under the influences of gnome salts, it's pretty cute, actually.
It's a forced smile.
Yeah. And he sort of looks at you and he says, "You know, Fallon, I felt for a long time like we're kindred spirits of a sort, almost like I could, look inside your head and see everything that was there, if you know what I mean." And he smiles a little bit more broadly.
Goddamn fish.
He's like, well, so sad that our last dance had to be so final, but we'll always have the memories, right, Fallon?
Yeah, I'll be able to tell everyone I danced with the aboleth in the pale cave light.
Yes.
Batman reference.
Not many people can honestly say that. Nor can many of us say that we've danced with one of your kind. Especially one with such an excellent beard. He thinks for a moment, and he says, "Actually, suppose there's no reason why I couldn't." And you blink, and then Blindploop has a full black beard, neatly trimmed.
Whose beard's bigger?
Blindploop's is
large.
bigger for sure, but it's proportioned similarly to Fallon's.
Oh, this is a full-size Blimploop. I was picturing like a shrunken Blimploop, like the size of a person.
Oh no, I mean Blimploop isn't particularly huge, but he's significantly larger than Fallon.
It's amazing.
Fallon leans in and says, "Hold me."
Hold me closely.
And as you start to come down from your trip, you feel the caress of loving tentacles reach around behind your back.
Yo, let's get some hentai right
Now,
now.
is that Quizmilligus sitting right next to me?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Oh God.
I offer you some gnome salt, sir. Would you like to try this? It's amazing product I have.
Quizmilligus takes a long look at it and looks at Fallon. What does Fallon look like?
Happy.
Content,
Ethereal.
joyful
Yeah.
even.
Okay, maybe this once, but don't tell anyone. And I take it.
Roll a d20.
Yes.
Do I hear this? Because we're like right there. Are you seeing
No,
him?
you don't hear this. We're around that
No,
big
get
one.
out of here. Oh God.
All right.
I don't know what the numbers mean. I
Okay.
don't know.
As you start to fall into the pleasurable high of the gnome salts, the cavern around you sort of starts to shimmer. The water turns a deeper blue. The walls turn a brighter green. Everything sort of has a rippling to it. And then you become aware of something sort of sticking out at the back of your head, just where your head becomes your neck.
Oh God.
It's sort of a tendril of something white, vaguely plasticky, but kind of soft. You reach up and you press it. It squeezes slightly, and you have that momentary jolt when, like, kind of like when you notice that you got a really large bug on your arm, and you sort of freak out for just a moment. As you calm down, you realize, though, that the tendril sort of trails from the back of your head down the path ahead of you. And as you look towards it, you realize that your vision is actually racing along it. You follow the tendril through a tunnel. There's a series of corridors. There's writing of some kind on the walls. You can't quite tell what's going on.
He's
You
not
pass
actually
some
moving.
sort of village where torches are lit and there's dancing of some strange creatures, but you go by too fast in order to know for sure. You go down another long tunnel. It rushes past you for what seems like hours, but you realize later it couldn't have been more than 10 or 15 seconds in actuality. And then finally, you're in this city. There's like large stone buildings coming up, and you go into a large one in the center. You cross through the door. You go, there's some sort of vat full of this greenish fluid, and above it hangs this giant brain. And then you snap back and you sort of gasp for just a moment as you realize you've been having a shit trip. But then, just as soon as that happens, this wave of utter calmness and contentment passes over to you, and suddenly, all of that seems quite distant, and you relax back into the stone pillar behind you. And you're calm and happy.
We should do these again later.
I do them all the time.
Good night, Fallon. Because Milligas goes to sleep.
Yeah. Yep. St. Fallon also goes to sleep.
Okay. Kane, what are you doing?
Grimork also goes to sleep.
Did Kane witness any of that?
Just broke my
I
chair.
mean, they're just sitting right there, so yeah, you saw them lighting up. You saw Fallon just sort of, actually kind of smiling. You saw Quizmilligus sort of jolt up like it wasn't going so well, but then he sort of relaxed.
Alright. I'm gonna use the torch to like cauterize the neck stump, like from the head part of the neck stump. So it stops. I imagine it's leaking a lot right now.
Give
So,
me medicine.
Okay. Is it not leaking? I just figured it was leaking.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how good of a job you actually do here.
I mean, it's a dead guy. Probably not very well.
It'll
Peace.
probably mostly hold, unless it's like jostled severely.
Wait, holding what? I'm not reattaching it.
Oh, you're just trying to stop it. Oh, you're just trying to stop it from
pouring
like.
blood.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like,
All right.
I would put
Yeah,
the head up to people
All right.
and say, "Look what you've done to your god.
Okay.
We are slaying your gods. We are your new masters."
You manage that much.
Cool.
It observes you while you do so.
Oh right. Oh wait, did you already zombify it?
That one.
Oh. Well, I turned it away from me. As I did.
I was imagining that this was happening shortly before you cast the spell, Colleen.
That's fine.
Okay. I mean, either way, it's pretty funny. I started doing it. It's just like looking at me. I'm like, stop.
All right. So actually, I'm gonna say just because it's funnier this way, you finish
Animate
what
it
you're
while
doing.
he's doing it.
Yeah. You just as you finish cauterizing it, the head turns around and the eyes open and look at you.
Stop it. Damn it. Fucking zombies.
All right.
And then I guess the doll. The doll. What are the exact rules of the doll again?
Let me double check.
Like, how close does the thing have to be before it sets it?
Let me. Well, so you set it to go off whenever someone.
Yeah,
was...
but like I think it's 5 feet, 10 feet. What is it?
Yeah, let me check what its effective range is. I have the book. I just need to find the page.
Also, I'm encumbered. That's just minus 10 feet, right?
Yep.
All right, so my speed's normal. Cool.
There it is. 1. Do you remember what this thing is called?
It's like the talking doll. Or where did I?
Yeah,
put
there
down?
we go. There it is. So 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yeah.
How wide is this path?
So at its absolute widest, it's 20 feet. But like most of it's 15. So like if you set it there, then anything that came within this range would be fair game.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna set the doll there.
Okay.
Just to like scream as loud as it can if anything approaches us, and then go camp over here.
Okay. So let me see here. I'm just gonna.
Doodle. That's the talking doll.
Okay, perfect. All right.
All
right.
Yeah.
So...
Also, just a quick question I had too.
Yeah. What's up?
Was the mystery key and the magic ruby also part of the trinkets, or is that just other stuff I have?
No. Mystery key was it's a key that you can try to open a door with. Basically, it has a chance of working on any door, and once it works, it's going to vanish. The ruby is basically a thing that you can attach to a weapon in order to make it magical, like with no bonus, but it counts as a magical weapon.
Right. Okay, I remember now. Okay.
All right.
Also, I bring one of my hidden daggers and like place it along my belt on the other side of my rapier. You have easy access.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I believe I have multiple daggers.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, check your inventory, but I think so. Okay. Colleen, you doing anything besides making zombies?
Well, once we're rested and I have the other one prepared, I'm going to make the other zombies.
Okay. I mean, so are you going into your meditation right now?
If everyone else is sleeping, I will wait until someone wakes up. But
okay.
While waiting, though, I will continue to work on my disintegrate spell.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna like let all of them rest fully. So you guys are gonna have to wait here for like 10 hours, but you'll be awake the entire time. Because it's gonna take them like 6 hours in order to rest up, and then you need to rest for 4, unless you wanna, you know, go for exhaustion.
Yeah, I know. I need to rest for 4. At least. I'm okay. I'll give it 2 hours. I'll rest for 4, and then
Okay.
I'll do it that way.
All right. So yeah. So you'll get 2 hours in on disintegrate.
I don't remember what my progress was on.
All right. So I need to make a roll real quick. Okay. So yeah. You all settle in to rest, and the time passes without incident. A number of hours later, this was not exactly the most comfortable place to curl up. You wake up, though, refreshed, if not exactly comfortable. Clean, you've gotten a little bit of work done. And it's a new day, question mark.
Okay. Then I will
All my
do
stuff back.
the create undead and turn the other 4 into rogue ghouls.
All right. I have to mark a couple things.
You'll have to make me ghouls. I'm sorry.
Oh, right. So create undead. I just have to remind myself how this
Here,
works.
I'll ping it for you.
Thank
And
you.
then in the Ensoul undead, you said I could do it on create undead as well. So rogue
Yes.
ghouls.
Okay, so you're gonna get 3.
4. With my
Yeah, because you
necromancy,
get
I get
another
an
one. You get another
additional.
one. Okay. All right. All right. So I have to make you rogue ghouls. Okay. I will do that after this session. I suppose there's a chance it'll become relevant during the session, and we'll
That's
handle
fine.
that if it
I
comes up.
think it'll take too long, but it's happening.
Yep. All right. Cool. Well, I mean, you just apply the bonuses to a ghoul stat block, so we'll just figure out the relevant parts if we need to for this session. All right. So yeah, y'all wake up. Colleen has a
Go
lot of
grab
new
my
friends.
note.
So Colleen, your spell slots, you still have to reassert over the other 2. So you should be down, what, a level 3 and a level 6?
No, I cast that one. That reassertion was before bed, so I technically
Oh,
got the
okay.
rest.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So basically, like, tonight you'll have to reassert again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So down to level 6, but got 4 ghouls and a zombie priest and a zombie jester.
A zombie jester. I always do that to jester. She's so nice. But how much HP does Maxis have?
A lot. Although I don't think
Is it
he's leveled
3
up
digits?
yet. Yeah, definitely.
I was curious. See if anyone else is broken 2 digits.
All right. So, do you guys do anything before you head out, other than presumably, deduct your rations? I guess we'll just do that now for the day.
I grab a doll. My doll back.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Is it cold?
Is it cold? I mean, yeah, not like Arctic cold, but you're underground. It doesn't feel warm. It doesn't feel like there's a volcano or a vent anywhere around you.
I mean, like, is it like winter time? I still have these heavy ass winter clothes.
Oh yeah. No.
Alright, I'm ditching these next chance I get.
Okay.
They're 2 pounds, man. I'm already encumbered.
Need to find. There we go. Rations. Okay, cool. Anything before you guys move forward? Presumably, question mark. Like, do you want to explore any of the side paths, or do you want to just keep going the way you were going?
There are side paths.
I mean, there are like
What's
On the
these
leftmost
things.
and the.
what's
Oh.
our plan once we get into the fish people's village?
We're not good at coming up with plans.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
kind
the
of
plan
do.
is we just want to pass through, and if they refuse, we kill them all.
but that's a terrible plan
Why is that a terrible plan?
because there's no point in extinguishing an entire race.
They just have to let us through. It's not like we've killed their god and their leadership. Why would they try to stop us?
Because we've killed their god.
So clearly, we are their new god.
Not if you don't tell them.
That's true
I'm
too. We
telling
could just
every
pass.
fish person we encounter that we slayed their god. I really hate them.
It would be a lot easier if you didn't.
I mean, they clearly don't want us walking past them no matter what. So I figure we either try and sneak past, which I can do. I don't know about you guys. I can sneak past them, or we intimidate them.
We'll be fine.
All right.
Those are the two options: sneak past or intimidate.
It's your journey. I'm just along for the ride.
Like, and
Um,
I don't see intimidation working. We're going to be walking past with a bunch of their fucking priest people as well.
So, which way are we going?
Let's explore the rest of this cavern. He's got me intrigued now.
Well,
Okay,
we either have
sure.
to
I'll
swim
just
there,
narrate
or
that. I mean, do you want to
I'm gonna go
wander both
here.
of these side paths potentially? I mean, like
Yes,
unless
I
it.
do.
Okay, so you make your way over to this path. You have to sort of scale a wall and whatnot, but I'll say that you manage that. You wander around here and you discover that there's a path that goes maybe about 30 feet behind this wall. And it basically just dead ends and loops around over to this one, and then this one loops around further and eventually just joins up the same way that you were going. So it doesn't actually lead anywhere, it turns out.
They're all looping around. All right, guys, forward.
All right.
Off
Towards
to
the fish
exterminate.
people's village.
All right.
More like a city, but off to exterminate them, or make them our fucking servants.
Does he always talk his way into genocide? I look at everyone else in the party.
I don't think you understand my hatred towards the fishes.
he does have an irrational hatred towards the Croto.
Ever since I was forced to have Blin Ploop touch my brain, I looked aggressively at everyone who was there.
It's not like the fish people held you down.
No, that was you guys.
Maybe your aggression's pointed in the wrong direction then, I say as I walk past him.
Yes, but then the deal will get mad at me for DPKing, so...
You guys wander down the
We're
path.
trying.
As you walk,
Gotta
Fallon,
break that foot.
make a perception check.
Working
I
on
have
that.
the head, by the way.
That's exciting.
I'm holding onto the head. I got that in my hand. That's
Sorry, I accidentally backed out of the game for a second.
Oh, okay. So as you're walking, Fallon, not too far past the cavern that you were just in. And actually, let me double check something. Kane, do we have that clear stone back down to 0.1? Yes, we do.
Is it?
Brilliant.
So I'm still encumbered there, right?
Yeah, just because you're carrying so much shit.
Yeah.
Fallon, you
Where is
notice
the clear
some,
stone?
and this is kind of bizarre considering you're underground. You notice a little patch of purple flowers growing along the ground, and now that you noticed it, you notice another little crevice with a few more growing in it.
I collect them
Okay.
and I whistle.
Yeah, you get you actually get 0.2 pound, or you get up to, like, as you're walking along, now that you know to pay attention for it, you keep noticing little patches. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Can I
Ooh,
can I
piece of
identify
candy.
these flowers as he collects them?
Or actually,
Brave.
roll a 2d10.
Piece of candy.
I don't know what all I rolled there.
Yeah.
You got everything.
Well, it wasn't happening, so I kept clicking, and then I was like, well,
Right.
and I didn't have the chat up. I was on settings for some reason.
You know, I said two different things. Let's just, you get half a pound of purple flowers.
Can I identify these flowers as he picks them?
Gee,
I
Fallon, those are purple.
I guess you would notice. You see him
But
picking
you
up
saw
purple
us whistling,
flowers.
like-
Let me.
Picking flowers, whistling, like.
I mean, you can try and
What?
put 2 and 2 together, I guess, but.
And
Get
see
a
what he's
little
doing.
scratchy.
And then I see he's picking flowers and identify them.
Have you actually run across this before, Kane? I'm trying to think.
Are you going to ask me what I'm
I
using
just-
them for, or are you just going to surmise everything, Sherlock
I'm
Holmes
trying to see
style?
what they are. Like, if I can use them for poison things.
Oh, I mean, I guess give me a nature check to see if you recognize them.
Ooh, nature. If it was Arcana, I'd get nat 20. Full 20 is slow today.
They are flowers which are purple. There is something nagging at the back of your mind about flowers underground being weird, but that's about it.
I just go, that's weird.
I asked
Then
Fallon,
let
is
him
it
keep-
normal for those to grow here?
I could consult my character sheet. I think I have something about where they grow. No. No. Lucky day, I guess.
Are you sure? I think the last time we were down here, you found some goodies.
I turn and put one in Colleen's hair and say, "Oh, hush you."
I blush.
All right. So you continue down the cavern, and as you do, you pass a site that's familiar to 3 of you. You pass through a series
three?
of the 3 of you who've been down here before. You pass through a series of short chambers, and the wall of each chamber bears a line of script in Undercommon. I think is it just Colleen who can read
Yeah.
Undercommon?
I can read everything.
I
Well,
can read.
Oh,
Right,
you
boys.
have that ability.
Certainly do.
This writing is familiar to those of you who have already been down here before, but Quizmiligus. Here is the poem that you read carved into the wall.
Just type it again. I remember this.
Yep. Outside the
remember-
garden wall lay the child aborted before a flower grew. Its not hand was stretched toward a thorn, its not head craned to the midnight sun. It wailed and roared and rebelled against the arrogance of the roses. Its eyes became a river, questing ever outward, clawing, clutching. From the dark waters rose the many-legged eels, from the dark skies swooped the many-eyed bats. And the river rose up, but the garden was barred by vines of cold steel. The eels became prey for vultures, the bats became carrion for sharks. At last, but 4 remained, above, beneath, beyond, within. The wall of the garden held no meaning for the children of the emptiness, and they went forth to devour the womb which was denied them. Here's that.
Thank you.
Yep. And by the wall where the last line is written is a fish-looking skeleton, presumably a Quotoa. It strikes you as curious that it hasn't been moved, given that the Quotoa apparently come this way sometimes. And then...
Have you all seen this before? I point at the wall writing.
Yeah, it's just weird stuff down here.
Hasn't changed much.
We don't pay it much mind.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Quizmiligus just shakes his head and keeps going.
Leading off from that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I have that written down in a copy of the poem that was Alistar had it on him. Now I have it on me.
Sounds familiar.
I just say, well, you see.
And actually, Fallon, you'd remember you have another verse of it as well. You don't just have that much.
I'll read it out loud.
Oh, okay. So Fallon pulls out the copy that he has. So basically, Fallon would explain that last time they were down here, there was another group that went exploring a different direction, and they found what appeared to be either a prior stanza or a continuation of this poem. And here is how it runs. The pregnant mother moulders in a tomb of black crystal. Her children scream to be free. Her spawns struggle upstream to seek the light. The earth and sea conspire against them because they were not meant to be. The hands of giants clasp their throats and hold their heads beneath the water. But the river's surface is not still. The moldy pond is not quiescent. And the minds of flies that drink that water are bent to their supplications. They soar as falcons towards the stars, and quest the darkness as great squid. The whispers of their benefactors wage war with mortal fancies. To be born, to be free, to desire, to rule, to proliferate, to consume. The uncut mountain clutches them as a chisel and a knife. And there is that.
Casey likes poetry.
I had fun.
So none of you really thought to investigate this. This feels weird and important.
Oh no, we did that last time. And I pull out my sheet, my weird ruin notes from that temple laboratory thing.
Oh, that. Gosh.
Yeah, I remember I drew the diagrams that we found in that temple.
Right. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so. Right, so this is going to be. And in fact, let me double check and make sure I'm not going to accidentally reveal something if I go over here. But
Just do it, Casey. Nike. Just do it.
yeah, okay. So this is the map of the area that you were in last time, which you have been. So when you were here before, you were told that it was a ruin, or it was a ruin. Now you are told, and it was populated by quaggoths, basically like underground sort of feral creatures.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Now you are told that it is a city of mind flayers. But when you were here before, I believe, Colleen, the notes that you took are from this structure right here. You fought like a roper in there. And you found this central chamber that had runes carved across
Yeah,
the
it was
walls.
an etching of the ruin.
Oh yeah, I rolled a nat 20 in that room. For something. Don't remember what.
I'm not aware that you established any definitive link between this poem and those runes, but...
No, we didn't establish a link. I just drew a picture of the runes because they were weird.
Right. So...
I don't think they
Can I take a look at the runes and see if I know anything?
If Colleen's okay with it.
I handed him the
May I?
papers.
Okay. And you can...
Arcana?
And you can read all writing, correct?
Yeah, Eyes of the Runekeeper. You can read all writing.
Okay. Yeah, give me Arcana to see what you can make of this.
Ooh, baby.
It is clearly some kind... I mean, it's not a hard guess to think that this is some kind... I mean, that these are magical runes, basically. Unfortunately, that's most of what you can tell. Looking at them, it seems what? It seems intricate. Again, another short logical leap would be that these quaggoths that they're describing, which were fairly, feral, instinctual kind of creatures, probably would not make something this intricate. Given that you're being told this is a city, this is currently a city of mind flayers, sort of begs the question, well, if it was a ruined city before, did mind flayers live there before? Were they responsible for this? But this is kind of speculation at this point, and you can't quite tell what the runes are meant to be about.
Take a good long look at them, stroke my beard, hand it back to Clean and say, old magic. And pretend I knew what it was and keep going.
Yes, quite.
I concur.
Quizmilligus, give me...
Deception?
I'm debating between that and performance. Actually, give me performance.
Yes, sir.
He gives off a pretty good air, as if he knew something about it. But, Kane, you have your suspicions.
You know Clean doesn't.
Kane knows. Kane sees it. Or isn't know, but yes.
Clean doesn't doubt anyone's intentions except for Kane.
Why would you doubt my intentions?
Gee.
I've always done right by the group.
He's mostly not wrong.
Yeah, he's mostly done well, but we're also rivals from that one time he beat me at cards.
Oh, right. Didn't I cheat, too?
Yeah, I think so. But then I knocked
Clean
you
doesn't
out.
know that. Clean doesn't know I cheated.
I don't know you cheated,
Right.
I just knocked you out because I was mad.
Actually,
Right.
so Kane is really friendly because he doesn't know that it was you. But you have this grudge against Kane even after you drugged him.
So, any other conversations while you're in this particular chamber?
I'll say one more thing.
Yeah.
Now, Kane, as we arrive to the Kratoa? Am I saying that right? Say it one more time.
Quotoa.
Kutoa. Let me or Colleen do the talking, so that way we don't have to kill any of them or all of them.
If you can talk them into not attacking us when we are literally walking with our dead companions, sure.
He gives a soft smile and a wink and keeps going.
Well, I could give us some. We could sneak.
I'm okay with sneaking.
I still got the head.
I can turn myself invisible.
If I recall, that was a 50-foot drop to get into this city.
Oh, right. You guys have to actually climb down. How good are your climbing shoes, Quizmilligus?
Well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Oh, yeah. Now who doesn't have plans? When I said that, I was making fun of my planning. But you said it. Alright.
Oh.
I just kind of pat my hand on my book of shadows and keep going.
I pat the head.
Yep. All right. So leading off from this last room that you were in is a tunnel that's even more tight and narrow than those that came previously.
This sounds familiar.
I actually copied a little bit of text from an old thing. Anyways, you walk in single file. Fallon has to bend slightly to keep from hitting his head into the ceiling, and Maxis almost has to crawl in order to get through. But at last, you come to a small, or you see a small opening ahead of you. I just want to make sure. There was some talk of sneaking. Do you guys have any particular plan for how you want to approach this? The three of you have been here before and recognize this as, there was a small opening at the top of a cliffside, and then that sort of descended down to the Quotoa village.
This is
Wait, there was no stairs, right? Or anything?
hole that I crawled through with the kobold. Right?
The kobold.
What?
There was a kobold, or like the hallway was really small, like it would be for a kobold, and I would just like walk through it, and then everyone else followed me.
I'm not sure. I don't really remember, to be honest.
I swear. I'm just trying to imagine where we are right now.
So,
Like,
We're at the cliff face before.
yeah, so...
so we can see the village from where we are?
So, okay, I will bring
Or
up...
above?
I will bring up the map that we previously used when we were here. You have no guarantees that this is still what it looks like, but I'm just using it for demonstration purposes. So last time when you were here, the path is down at the bottom. It sort of led up like this, and there's this long cliff that's like, I don't know, like 40 feet up or something like that. And this path exits here. There's like a little way to get down the cliff, and then the Quotoa village is all out here.
So we can see it from... We're at the top there.
Right. So I'm stopping you like shortly before you get to the little exit hole, just because if you proceed any further, like, you know, theoretically somebody could be watching at that point. So this is like your last chance to decide to do anything, like with no risk, basically.
Can anybody see anything?
From where we
What
are.
do I see with my halfling eyes?
You hear the dark vision,
I mean,
right?
do you want to wander up to the little opening?
Hold on. I have a thought, but go ahead with your thing.
Are you wandering up to the opening, Quiz?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Stealthily. Like I'll stay low.
Give me stealth.
Give you stealth.
So
Ooh, not
we
great.
know that we're trying to go back to that area that's now the Mind Flayer City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Quiz, you wander up to the hole in the wall and sort of peep your head up to look through. And as you do that, sort of a beat passes, and then you hear this garbled cry from below you on the floor of the village, and then 3 more come up, and suddenly there is clearly some kind of commotion going on. Do you remain where you are? Do you pull back?
So much for stealth.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did I goof something up?
Huh?
Oh, no. Okay, good.
I'm gonna quickly use Seeming and turn everyone into Krotoa.
Kuatoa.
As you're about to do that, and I'll let you decide if you want to do that, you hear sort of a fishy scream, or not scream, but cry from the cavern floor beneath you. And it says, God Slayers, welcome to Endfloor. Your servants stand ready and waiting.
How do they know these things? Okay, I'm gonna rescind that statement.
Yes.
But
using the cantrip Thaumaturgy,
Uh-huh.
at least that's how you say that, I announce to the room that your gods are here, and we wish to pass.
And there's sort of a cacophony from the cavern floor beneath you, and Quizmilligus, as you watch, there are torches being lighted all along the floor of the cavern. There are Quotoa streaming out of buildings. There are now hundreds of them awaiting your descent into the village.
Can Kane come up
Hold
and
on.
just hold up the head like, we have slain the false gods?
I look at everyone else and I wave them forward.
Okay,
Crack
he does
a really goofy grin, and I dimension door down.
Okay. All right. Yep. So you do that. they all give me performance again, Quizmilligus,
I would love to.
with
This is
advantage.
great. This is
With
fucking great.
advantage. Those are words I
Kane, give me your choice of performance or intimidation,
Performance or intimidation?
depending on whether you're trying to strike fear into them or to evoke awe, basically.
Oh no, I'm going for awe here. They're
Okay.
both plus.
Then also give me performance with just performance.
It's a really
with
fancy
advantage, Casey?
dimension door too.
That would
Like I
take.
put a twirl into it.
It's an 11. I'm sorry, Kane. But yeah.
Oh, come on.
So quiz, yeah. You basically pull off exactly what you described as you suddenly blink onto the cavern floor. Cheers erupt from the gathered creatures. Kane, as you hold up the head, they suddenly fall quiet for a moment. There's sort of some hushed conversation. And then another riotous cheer.
All right, I'm gonna put the head away, and I'm gonna just jump forward using forward momentum and do levitate. Be like, yeah.
Okay. Just give me performance one more time.
With advantage?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
I'm
If he
flying.
fails, he falls.
Yeah, you glide gracefully down onto the cavern floor, and again, it's just like, the noise is like vaguely disconcerting, because it's so sort of like, like gargling yogurt sound, basically, but they're clearly put two and two together. These creatures are kind of insane, and they need
We
a god,
demand
and you are now
sacrifice.
their god.
I bet we could. Oh, that'd be great. I kind of want to test that. We demand some sacrifices.
Everyone, give me a perception check.
This is great. Great. Oof. All right, Casey. Now remember, that was
Reliable talent, so it's 15.
15.
All right. So all of you do notice one more thing. Most of the creatures gathered appear to just be commoners, if you will. Some of them. Well, you do notice, however, sort of towards the back of the group, there are two more who appear to be dressed as priests. And there is also, to your surprise, wouldn't be familiar to a Quizmilligus, but there is a half-elf at the back of the room. Kind of advanced middle age, sort of. Actually, come to think of it, did I actually even give a physical description for this character the first time that you ran into her?
It would help if we knew who it was.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
It's Halil.
I'm just trying to see if
Please.
I'm trying to be consistent with myself, so I'm trying to quickly reference my notes to see if I described this character. I forgot
It's just
to
Halil, right? Just check out his character sheet. I'm sure
pull that out before. Yeah, no, there's an oiled, shirtless elven monk.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So I actually didn't provide a description before. Okay, but I'll just kind of let you imagine. But I'll sort of give you, dark hair, graceful features. Hard to tell too much more at this distance, but she seems sort of worn in by perhaps sort of a long existence down here. But the three of you recognize her because you saw her before in a very different context. This is Nistia Cantaniel, whom you knew as the High Priestess of Innis.
Did you say Innis?
I did.
I just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Wait. Oh wait, no. So can I like? Because I had the forward momentum. How far away is she?
From you, I mean, there's like
I'm still
over
flying.
300.
I was
Oh,
levitating.
I figured you already made it to the ground because you already
No,
said
I
you were
was like
maneuvering.
flying above them, like yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So there's like 300 Quotoa. They're kind of spread out. She's probably like 100 feet away.
I guess
my
as
dimensional
I get
door
closer,
cape to get me and Gamork over there.
You most certainly can.
I do so.
as I get closer,
You
I'll be like,
vanish in a puff of smoke and reappear in front of Nistia and the two priests. The two priests flinch back a little bit as you appear in front of them.
keep bellowing.
Nistia, and it very clearly is Nistia at this distance. Just gives a small, very, very slight smile.
Can I like
You're not a
slow
man.
into them as I get to where they are?
Yeah, sure. Kane's floating in behind. What'd you say, Fallon?
I said, you're not a man.
She smiles and says, "Is that how you greet all the girls?"
Only the ones that were men one time. But I guess you wouldn't remember.
Are you referencing something, by the way, Fallon? Nistia was never a
I'm-
man.
Wasn't it her that was the man that we met at the camp?
Man,
What?
that we met at the camp.
Where my uncle.
All right, so that was a completely different person. So basically, from your perspective, Nistia was the high priestess of Innis, and then later on, there was no Nistia. There was now a high priest who had a completely different name.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like he replaced her,
Yes.
and then now she's back. That's
Okay.
what I'm referencing.
Okay. She looks at you, confusion now kind of obvious. I'm sorry.
Do you remember us?
My name is Nistia. Who might you
Oh,
be?
I know. There was. Do you remember Blin Ploop?
Yes. She looks across the Quotoa. The erstwhile god of these folk.
I say,
Remember us?
yeah, well.
Yes, indeed. Welcome.
But before that, he was making us see things. Or changing.
She looks at you and says, "Honestly, sir, do you move this fast with all the girls? I still don't know your name."
We've met her so many times. Right? Oh, is she just not? This is different.
Alan, it's the temporals. They got
For once, Kane, you're right. Hello.
Hello.
Quizmilligus has a look of surprise as Fallon.
High Priestess of Innis, whom I've met before.
Okay.
in a different-
Oh, sorry. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Fallon.
In a different time and place.
Wait. You called her a high priestess of Innis?
Isn't that what she is?
She looks at you and says, "High priestess of Innis. I suppose it was a different time and place. Quiz, I gather you're coming in behind at this point?
Yeah, I'm following it.
Okay.
Galen just catches zombies.
She says, well, I don't quite know what to say to that. I was, up until recently, the right hand of the great god Blinploop, and she looks at you and says, I suppose that makes me now yours. And she drops to a knee real quick, gives a small bow, and then stands back up. And then she says, welcome to Intplur.
Wait, Nistia. Shouldn't there be more priests than just you three?
She looks back and forth between the two of them and says, I would say that for a village of hardly more than 500, 3 priests such as ourselves is quite a lot.
Oh, I thought there were more last time we were here. I don't know.
Last time? Have you been here before?
Yeah, before the temporals. You told us about the temporals, but now the temporals got into you, so you don't remember anything about. But this is back when you were the high priestess, and you told us about the temporals.
She
Like,
looks
you're the one who told us
over
about them.
at you, Quizmiligus and says, I don't understand what your friends are saying. Help.
Help.
I take her by the hand and lead her away from Kane's insanity. Come, show me around my new city.
They look like turtles.
Yes, indeed. Okay. All
I want to
these.
interrupt
Leaning
because
super hard into
Yeah,
it.
just gonna. Yeah, out of character quick. This is amazing. Like, swear, he's like second day with our group. He already has a city. Like,
well, and the fact that she's now the Blimploop's priestess is just
you mean our priestess?
all I know. But
And you know what?
Let's just end the campaign here and rule the city.
That actually, all things considered, is probably a decent place to end it for tonight. So we end as Nistia walks, sort of waves behind her to the gathered Quotoa and says, all right, everyone, thank you for gathering to welcome our new gods now. I believe there are crops that need tending. And walks with you to go on a tour of the city. And that's where we end tonight.
That is a great line to end on. Solid.
Fallon yells, "The blue one is the lesser of all the new gods."
No, I'm not.